What if I told you that your Wi-Fi could be the reason someone is watching your every move? No, not your nosy neighbor, but real hackers. And the scariest part? You won't even know it until your bank account is empty. Hey, Cyber Squad! Welcome to today's video where we're locking down your home network like Fort Knox, because in 2025 hackers are smarter, faster, and more relentless than ever. Stick around because at the end, I'll share a pro-level security trick that even some cybersecurity experts forget. And don't forget, if you don't hit that like button right now, your Wi-Fi will drop to 2 Mbps for the next week. Okay, just kidding, but why risk it? Also subscribe because next, I'm exposing the biggest Wi-Fi hacking tricks that hackers don't want you to know. Alright, let's talk about WPA3 encryption. This is the latest advancement in Wi-Fi security, designed to keep your data safe from prying eyes. You know how we geek out about the latest CPUs and GPUs? The excitement of unboxing that new piece of tech is unparalleled. Well, consider WPA3 the top-of-the-line CPU for your Wi-Fi security. It's like upgrading your network's brain to the latest and greatest. It's the latest and greatest encryption standard, like, seriously, it's got more security protocols than a bank vault. Imagine your data being locked up tighter than Fort Knox. We're talking about scrambling your data so hard that even the sneakiest hackers won't be able to crack it. It's like turning your data into an unbreakable code. No more brute force attacks, no more snooping on your late-night Amazon purchases. Your online activities will be safer than ever. Now, enabling it is usually pretty straightforward. You don't need to be a tech wizard to get this done. You just gotta log into your router settings, usually by typing something like 192.168.1.1 in your browser. It's a simple step that opens up a world of security. Though, let's be real, who can remember their IP address, right? It's like trying to remember a phone number from the 90s. Check your router, it's probably on a sticker underneath. Manufacturers know we can't remember these things. Once you're in, look for the wireless security or Wi-Fi security section. This is where the magic happens. You should see WPA3 as an option. It's usually right there, waiting for you to activate it. Select that bad boy and you're good to go. Your network will be more secure than ever. But here's the catch. If your router is older than a Windows 95 computer, it might not support WPA3. Old tech just can't keep up with modern security needs, and trust me, you don't want to be rocking outdated tech when it comes to security. It's like using a flip phone in the age of smartphones. So, if that's the case, it might be time for a router upgrade. Think of it as an investment in your digital safety. Think of it as getting that shiny new graphics card, but for your network safety. It's an upgrade you won't regret. Plus, newer routers come with all sorts of cool features like faster speeds and wider coverage. It's a win-win, really. Your internet experience will be smoother and more secure. Okay, picture this. You buy a brand new super fast router and you're all excited to set it up. It's like getting a new toy, right? You can't wait to see how much faster your internet is going to be. You plug it in and bam, you're online. Everything seems perfect, and you're ready to dive into the digital world. But hold on, before you start streaming your favorite shows or downloading that big game, there's one crucial thing you absolutely have to do. Change those default login credentials. This step is often overlooked but is incredibly important. I'm talking about the default username and password that comes preset on your router. These are usually something simple like admin and password. I can't stress this enough, people. Leaving those default credentials is like leaving your front door wide open with a neon sign that says, "Come on in, hackers." Hackers are always on the lookout for easy targets. They love it when people don't change their default settings. They actually have these databases full of default router passwords. It's like a treasure trove for them. Seriously. It's scarily easy for them to find this information. They don't even have to try hard. So, do yourself a massive favor and change that default password to something strong and unique. This is your first line of defense. I'm talking about a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Make it as complex as possible. Think of it as creating the world's most complicated secret handshake, but for your Wi-Fi. The more complex the better. And while you're at it, change that SSID too. This is the name of your Wi-Fi network. That's the name of your Wi-Fi network. Don't make it something obvious. Don't make it obvious like John's Wi-Fi or something. This just makes it easier for hackers to identify you. Be creative. Choose something fun and memorable, but not something that directly relates to you or your address. This adds another layer of security. It's all about adding those extra layers of protection. The more barriers you put up, the harder it is for hackers to get in. Alright, let's talk firewalls. Now, I know what you're thinking. Firewalls? Sounds complicated and technical, but trust me, it's not as scary as it sounds. Think of your router's firewall as a bouncer at an exclusive club. It's there to screen all the incoming network traffic and make sure that only the good guys get in. It's like having a security guard posted at your front door 24/7, checking IDs and keeping the riffraff out. Enabling the firewall is usually as easy as flipping a switch in your router settings. Look for the Firewall or Security tab, and make sure it's turned on. Some routers even let you customize the firewall settings, giving you even more control over your network's security. You can block specific ports, filter out traffic from certain countries, and basically create a digital fortress around your precious data. And hey, if you really want to test how tough your firewall is, there's this cool website called GRC Shields Up. It's like a virtual punching bag for your network security. You can run a bunch of tests to see how well your firewall holds up against various attacks. It's actually pretty fun to use. Chapter 4, Guest Network. Keep your main Wi-Fi on lockdown. Okay, let's talk about guest networks. Now, I know it's tempting to give your Wi-Fi password to friends and family when they come over. But here's the thing, sharing your main Wi-Fi password is like giving someone the keys to your digital kingdom. It's not just about internet access, it's about the security of your entire digital life. You're basically giving them access to all your devices, your personal information, and potentially even your bank accounts. And let's be real, not everyone is as tech-savvy as you are. They might not understand the risks involved or how to navigate the digital world safely. They might accidentally download malware or visit sketchy websites that could compromise your entire network. That's where guest networks come in. They act as a buffer, protecting your main network from any potential threats. It's like having a separate Wi-Fi network specifically for your guests. They get internet access, but they're isolated from your main network. This means they can't access your personal files or devices, keeping your data safe and secure. Think of it as a VIP lounge at a concert where guests get to enjoy the show without having access to the backstage area. They get the internet they need, while you keep your digital backstage private. Setting up a guest network is usually pretty simple. Just go into your router settings, look for the guest network option, and follow the instructions. Most modern routers make this process straightforward and user-friendly. You can give it a funny name like Cyber Cafe or The Matrix, something memorable. This not only makes it easy for your guests to find, but also adds a touch of personality to your network. And the best part is you can customize the guest network settings to limit bandwidth, restrict access to certain websites, or even set a time limit for how long guests can stay connected. This way you maintain control over your network while still being a gracious host. Chapter 5, Remote Management and UPnP, Convenient but Risky. Alright, let's talk about remote management and UPnP. Now, these features might sound convenient, and don't get me wrong, they can be, but they can also be huge security risks if you're not careful. Remote management, as the name suggests, allows you to access your router settings from anywhere in the world. Sounds cool, right? Well, it can be if you need to troubleshoot network issues remotely. But here's the thing, if hackers get their hands on your router's login credentials, they can enable remote management and basically take over your entire network. They can change your DNS settings, redirect you to malicious websites, or even steal your personal information. UPnP, or Universal Plug and Play, is another feature that can be problematic. It's designed to make it easier for devices on your network to connect to each other and share files. But here's the catch, UPnP can bypass your firewall, creating security holes that hackers can exploit. It's like leaving a backdoor unlocked in your digital fortress. So unless you absolutely need remote management or UPnP, it's best to disable them. Just go into your router settings and look for the options to turn them off. Trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry. Chapter 6. Regular updates, patching those security holes. Alright, let's talk about software updates. I know they can be annoying, but trust me, when it comes to your router, keeping your firmware up to date is crucial for maintaining a secure network. Think of it like this. Every time a router manufacturer releases a firmware update, they're essentially patching up security holes that hackers could exploit. It's like installing a security system in your house. The longer you wait, the more vulnerable you are to break-ins. Now, the good news is that most modern routers have automatic update features. You just have to enable it in the settings, and your router will take care of the rest. But even if your router doesn't have automatic updates, checking for updates manually is still super important. Just go to the manufacturer's website, download the latest firmware for your router model, and follow the instructions to install it. It might seem like a hassle, but it's a small price to pay for peace of mind. Chapter 7, VPN, the invisibility cloak for your online activity. Alright, let's talk about VPNs. Now, I know what you're thinking. VPNs? Isn't that something only hackers and tech-savvy people use? But trust me, in 2025, using a VPN is no longer optional. It's like wearing a seatbelt in a car, you just don't leave home without it. Think of a VPN as an invisibility cloak for your online activity. It creates a secure and encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, making it virtually impossible for hackers to intercept your data. It's like sending a postcard through a secret courier service instead of just dropping it in a public mailbox. Now there are a ton of VPN providers out there, but some of my favorites include NordVPN, ExpressVPN, and ProtonVPN. They're all reputable companies with a strong track record of protecting user privacy. And the best part, they're super easy to use. Just download the app on your device, connect to a server in your preferred location, and you're good to go. Plus, using a VPN has other benefits too, like bypassing geo-restrictions on streaming services and accessing websites that might be blocked in your country. It's like having a digital passport that lets you travel the internet freely and securely. You're officially a cyber warrior. If you made it this far, you're a true cyber warrior. You've armed your Wi-Fi with the toughest security measures. Even I'm impressed. Comment below, which security tip was new for you? Let's chat in the comments. And hey, if you tried out GRC Shields Up, tell me how your firewall did. Next up, how hackers can bypass Wi-Fi security in 2025. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. We're going deep into the hacker's playbook so you can stay one step ahead.